Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to 3 News Now. I'm Stephanie Haney, and today is Wednesday, August 4th. Thank you for joining me for the top stories from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. We start off with breaking news out of Cuyahoga County. Now, health officials are recommending that masks be worn indoors by everyone, regardless of vaccination status. And we are now learning as well that Cuyahoga County Executive Armand Budish is signing an executive order stating that employees and the public, regardless of vaccination status, must wear masks in all county buildings, and that's effective tomorrow, Thursday, August 5th. Here's what Budish says. He says, for your family, for your friends, for your neighbors, for the most vulnerable person you know, please get vaccinated and please wear a mask. Also, the Cuyahoga County Board of Health is now recommending that masks be worn by everyone in the county while indoors, as I said, regardless of vaccination status. That's in line with CDC guidance since Cuyahoga County is now considered an area of substantial transmission of COVID-19. Cuyahoga County Health Commissioner Terry Allen said this during a press conference today. Things are changing. This variant spreads very easily and quickly and presents an increased risk to everyone. So with that, Cuyahoga County Board of Health's recommendations for both vaccinated and vaccinated and unvaccinated individuals includes everyone who is medically able should wear a mask in public indoor settings when near others, regardless of that vaccine status. The use of face masks is recommended for all teachers, staff, students, and visitors to schools, regardless of vaccine status. People should get tested if experiencing COVID-19 symptoms. Also, everyone with a known contact to someone with a confirmed COVID-19 case should get tested 3 to 5 days following exposure. And people should isolate if testing positive for COVID-19 in the prior 10 days or if you're experiencing COVID-19 symptoms. Now, this guidance applies to all individuals 2 years of age and older, speaking specifically about wearing those masks in the indoor settings. Now, let's get to how we arrived here. Cuyahoga County has reached substantial COVID-19 spread. That's according to CDC guidelines, and CDC is recommending that people wear those masks indoors in addition to the Cuyahoga County Board of Health. Cuyahoga County's label of substantial COVID-19 spread is based on the CDC's 4-level system, which is broken up into low, moderate, substantial, and high spread. It was on Friday that Cuyahoga County was listed as moderate before moving to substantial. That's reserved for areas with new infection rates of 50 or more per 100,000 residents or positive COVID-19 test results of over 8% in the past 7 days. Now, right now, there is not a federal, statewide, or local mask mandate in effect, but the CDC, as I said, is recommending that people in areas of substantial or high coronavirus spread wear those masks indoors again, whether they are vaccinated or not. Speaking at a press briefing last week, Ohio's Governor Mike DeWine said that he doesn't anticipate putting a statewide mask mandate into effect anytime soon, noting that he didn't believe he had the power to do so because of recent legislation and also that the state doesn't have an appetite for it right now. So we're checking in on the COVID-19 numbers as warranted at least every Tuesday, but today it is definitely warranted because in the last 24 hours, we've seen a significant increase in reported COVID-19 cases according to the Ohio Department of Health. In the last 24 hours, we've seen 2,167 reported cases of COVID-19. That's up from yesterday when we saw 1,769 new reported COVID-19 cases. We've seen 113 new hospitalizations in the last day. Right now, there are 792 people being treated in the hospital for COVID-19. That's up total 1 from yesterday. And of those, 242 people are being treated in the ICU. That's up 22 from yesterday. And we've seen 15 new ICU admissions in the last 24 hours. Our vaccination status has not changed much in the last day. Over 5.4 million people completely vaccinated against COVID-19 in Ohio, and that's more than 46% of Ohio's population. Now let's turn to yesterday's special primary election to fill the Ohio 11th Congressional District seat. The winner in the Democratic primary was Shontel Brown, Cuyahoga County councilperson and Democratic Party chair. She beat out 12 other candidates for the nomination. Her top competitor, former state senator Nina Turner, conceded defeat just after 10 p.m. yesterday. Shontel Brown got a congratulatory call from President Joe Biden, and in a speech after that, she thanked her constituents and friends who she referred to as her guiding moral compass. Here's what she said. I've been 9 years a legislature, not seeking headlines or attention, but seeking to make headway and being effective. I'm not about lip service. I've been about public service. Now, Brown was considered the establishment favorite against the more left-leaning Nina Turner. Brown had the support of prominent Democrats like former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and current Democratic House Majority Whip Jim Clyburn. On the issues, Brown has prioritized tackling gun violence and seeking solutions for more affordable health care, though she does not believe a Medicare for All approach is the best option. She's had more than 6 years as Cuyahoga County Council, and she voted in favor during that time of declaring racism a public health crisis in Cuyahoga County, helped fund the redevelopment of Cleveland's Van Aken district, and expanded universal pre-kindergarten. Now, Brown will be the heavy favorite in November at the general election against Republican nominee Laverne Gore. That's who won the Republican primary yesterday. She was also the nominee in last year's election. She lost to the current Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Marcia Fudge, by more than 60 percentage points. Now, Marcia Fudge did hold the seat in the 11th Congressional District here in Ohio, but was appointed to the Secretary of HUD by President Biden. Laverne Gore graduated from Cleveland's John Adams High School, and she holds a master's degree from both Cleveland State University and Northeast Ohio Medical University. Her campaign has focused on improving conditions in Cleveland's inner cities, namely through job creation, education, and welfare reform. Here's what she told our 3 News' Russ Mitchell during an interview in March. She said, I understand that being educated in the Cleveland public school system was a plus for me when I went to college on a full scholarship to the Claremont colleges. I understood that I could compete effectively. I understood that the neighborhoods were strong. I understood the commitment to each other as participating members in the 11th district. We were one. Now, Gore is the heavy underdog in November's general election, as I mentioned, against Shontel Brown. It is a decidedly Democratic district. The winner will succeed Marcia Fudge, who resigned in March when she was appointed the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. Now let's take a look at our Ohio athletes and how they are faring in the Olympics. University of Akron alum Clayton Murphy missed out on the medal in the men's 800-meter finals at the Tokyo Olympics. He finished in last place with a time of 1 minute 46 seconds, .53. The top 3 in the race who went on to take the medals this morning came from Kenya with the gold, Kenya with the silver, and also Poland with the bronze. Toledo's O'Shea Jones won a bronze medal in the women's Olympics welterweight boxing, but will not go on to compete for a higher medal. That was because she lost this morning to the competitor from China, putting her in a tie for 3rd with the competitor from India. So she will share that bronze position on the podium and bring that back to Northwest Ohio. Now, in every other sport, Jones would likely have a follow-up semifinal match to compete with the competitor from India, but that hasn't happened in boxing since 1948 because of potential risks to the athlete's health. So Jones and the competitor from India will finish in a tie for 3rd place, and she will bring that bronze medal home. We have a correction to let you know about Joe Kovacs. He is competing for the shot put. I had previously told you that was happening at 10:05 p.m. on Thursday. It's not 10:05 p.m. on Thursday. It's 10:05 p.m. tonight. So keep an eye out for that. Duke Reagan up for the boxing medal. He'll be competing for gold at 2:35 a.m. Thursday morning, late tonight, early tomorrow morning. And Katie Najat from Olmsted Falls is competing for the medal in the pole vault competition. That's at 6 a.m. on Thursday. So keep your eyes out for that. Now, if you're following what's happening in the NBA, we are now 3 days into NBA free agency, and Kemba Walker's buyout could be a harbinger of potentially what's to come here in Cleveland. According to ESPN, the 4-time All-Star guard has reached a buyout with the Oklahoma City Thunder as it is expected to immediately sign with the New York Knicks. Now, if you're not familiar with how a buyout works, that's when a team and a player mutually agree to part ways. Often, the player will give up a portion of their guaranteed salary or all of it. So that provides a little financial and cap relief to the team that they're coming from. And then the player becomes an unrestricted free agent eligible to sign with any team. So that made a lot of sense for the Oklahoma Thunder and for Kemba Walker. So what that means potentially is, could that be a similar solution here in Cleveland? Because the Cavaliers and Kevin Love find themselves in a similar situation. It's a critical juncture for both sides. It's been 3 years since Love signed a 4-year, $120 million extension in Cleveland, and it does seem now, according to our 3 News sports analysts, that both of those sides would benefit from maybe moving on from that relationship. In the past years since re-signing with the Cavs, the 5-time All-Star has played in just 103 games due to different injuries, and he's had a lot of frustration with the way the Cavs have been rebuilding the team since LeBron James' departure in 2018. So with 2 seasons left and more than $60 million remaining on his contract, trading him, not a viable option for the Cavs, unless the Cavs are willing to give up other assets in the deal. So a buyout could be the answer, and we will be watching to see what the Cavs do and how that situation develops with Kevin Love here in Cleveland. Now here in Northeast Ohio, there is something new and exciting coming to the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad. They will be saying goodbye to the Polar Express, but with every goodbye comes a new hello, and they'll be welcoming something new called the North Pole Adventure. Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad announced today that it's ending the very popular Polar Express because it was time for a change. That's according to CVSR President and CEO Joe Mazur. He said, unfortunately, due to COVID-19, they had to cancel the Christmas train last year, and after several years of the same program, the cancellation last year, and listening to feedback from the community, they felt it was the right time to introduce North Pole Adventure. So here's what North Pole Adventure will do. It will take riders on a brand new request to write and hand deliver letters to Santa, addressed to Santa, to the North Pole's postmaster. That will be the mission on the North Pole Adventure. In 2019, CVSR accepted letters to Santa, and there was an overwhelming response from the community. That's according to Mazur. He said the children enjoyed it, and we knew they wanted the opportunity to deliver letters to Santa, and now they can. That is it for 3 News Now today for Wednesday, August 4th. I'll see you next up on What's New. I have a special edition for you of Legally Speaking. We're talking about evictions. Now that nationwide moratorium on evictions has ended, at least for some people, not for everyone, but to break down what the evictions process is like in Ohio so that no one is worried about coming home to locks changed and all of your things kicked out on the curb. And then I will see you back here tomorrow for more 3 News Now.